Hello viewers, welcome to this week's edition of a program. It is Economic Insights and I'm your host Paul Kingsley. Now, in continuation with the ongoing report we are doing on the furniture industry, today we are taking a topical look at the various issues affecting players in the industry and also the challenges facing the industry. Joining us is a man who is contributing in no small way to the development of the furniture sector. I'm talking of the Managing Director CEO of Interior Woodwork Limited. Is Mr. Odun Emma Sahalu. He's going to be giving us their contribution in the industry and also the challenges affecting the sector. Sit back, relax. Promise to be an interesting conversation. I'll be back after this time out.
Interior Woodwork Limited brings to bear the combination of innovation, modern technology, top-notch design expertise, dedicated workforce, and impeccable quality control processes to deliver its brands of furniture and interior designs that resonate with your taste, lifestyles, and unique needs. With the state-of-the-art production plant located at Idui Industrial Area, Abuja, Nigeria, Interior Woodwork is one of the foremost furniture manufacturers serving the demands of quality international standard furniture to Nigeria. Odun Emasalo is the managing director.
We are a furniture manufacturing company based here in Abuja. We started 20 years ago from the city of Kano, Nigeria. And we moved here in 2000 and set up in this location. And it's been a gradual growth. It's a company that started with close to zero capital, and in these 20 years it has grown to what we are today. We've gone through the spectrum of production, producing different kinds of furniture, both for homes, offices, institutions, like schools. We have private clients, we have corporate clients, and we've done some international jobs which we've taken out of the country. And today we are waxing stronger and looking to go into, new areas. We are committed to development of the nation. As you can see, as you know, we have other choices, but as in manufacturing, you tend to, employ more people and get them to help their communities, and that we are committed to. So it's just beyond manufacturing furniture. Also look at that other part. But generally, we're a furniture company. Some things happen by fate. Actually I went to run a business. I was general manager of a furniture factory in Lagos. In Kano. I left Lagos to go and start that for the first time. So I worked there for about 3 years before starting up. And I think that just well put, just by faith, or that FATE, ordained by God, and I took it up seriously, and we got it this far.
Wow.
Well, there's been some dynamics in the challenges we've had over the years. That is, they keep changing. Initially, it was capital, but I didn't have money, so I had a good strategy. What we call robbing Peter to pay Paul. So I would take a customer's job and finish up. And we knew at the beginning that cascade could be endangered, because a time came where there was no more Peter to rob, and I could not deliver. Of course, it led to a lot of hardship, a lot of arrests, being locked up more than 10, 12 times, by suppliers, customers who could not finish. But we went through all that because you see, once you don't have capital, you have to be ready for the rough road. And it will also take a longer time than when you have. So we endured all through the years and grew gradually, plowing back our capital, our profit, whenever we make profit, and expanding the business. This business involves a lot of machineries, quite expensive, and we're able to go through that gradually too. But we avoided taking any loan because that could destroy you at the beginning. We kept going until we got to this point. Now, capital was a challenge. Initially, that was the main issue. But later, as we were getting stronger, the issues of human capital, that is staff, in terms of skills, in terms of commitment and loyalty, and in terms of a view of the future. What keeps you going in anything you are doing is how well you can envisage the future. We find out that most of our workers are quick to let go of that future. Now, it doesn't matter how much they pay you. Once you don't see a future, once you can't see what is ahead, it's difficult to remain. So it was a difficult session. That was a big challenge. And today, that now happens to be the biggest challenge, the human capital. Of course, there's the issue of energy. Like here, for the past 15 years, we have not used the grid line. We're not even connected because of the kind of machines that we have and the sensitive circuit boards, because they are all computerized. A wrong current and take off and on every day will destroy your machines. So we just stick to alternative energy, which is diesel generator. That's a challenge. And also, the raw materials are all imported, almost all imported, a lot of it. We don't do raw materials here, so you tend to keep huge inventory. I'm sure we know that in the management school, they told us that huge inventory is poor business management. But in Nigeria, where you take 3 months or 4 months to get your goods in, you have to keep. So when you do that, you are tying down huge capital, and that affects the business also. And also sourcing of funds. Funds are very expensive, almost all in 30%. That's an impossible scenario to work. Then policies sometimes could be very terrible. Multiple taxation from different people, and of course the general animosity, so to speak, between government and manufacturers, as if we are quarreling, when we're actually employing people. So we find this as a major challenges, in doing business. Of course, the skill sets are also lacking because it takes a while to acquire skills and to perfect it. You find out that abroad, you find somebody working at a position for 10 years, 15, 20, 30 years. So there's expertise. Here, people work 2 years, 3 years, and they're flying all around the place. And they never get to understand the business and get the requisite skills for the job. So those are the major, but the biggest challenge is the human capital. Not even the money and the energy, but the human capital, the Nigerian worker. That's the biggest challenge.
True to its positioning tagline, the art of furniture and interior designs, Interior Woodwork has made excellence in lifelong value entrenched in its art and craft of producing furniture and providing furniture solutions for living and working spaces. Through its production plant and showrooms situated across the Federal Capital Territory, Interior Woodwork delivers the art and science of designing furniture, solutions that echoes your lifestyle and resonates with your taste of fashion. The company has grown from humble beginning to become a recognized landmark, bestriding the private and public sector landscape of Nigeria and the West Africa sub-region.
Okay, if we have come this far, I'm sure you have clips of our factory. we believe that we should do well. Now, we believe that many things are needed. The industry is still green, and we use a lot of boards because of the challenges with other materials. We use wood also, but not too much because of the time, you know. So we produce home furniture a lot. We produce office furniture. We also do a lot of projects with institutions, the energy sector, and we do some level of retailing. And our products are made to last. That is our focus. Sometimes you make more money when you do the quick products, you know. But we've had customers who came in here that we did something for them 12 years ago. Now they have a bigger project. And what we did 12 years ago is still as good as new. So they come back to us. So sometimes some things you do, we speak for you in the long run. So we ensure that we produce quality. We use quality materials. We use the best grade machines, as I'm sure you would have seen. And that affords us the position that we occupy in the industry. And we believe that is what will still take us forward. So that's our main strength, quality products, study, you know, that will stand the test of time. Also beautiful, you know, and the pricing is okay also. But we've worked with a lot of individual clients, and we've done some secretariat, some project secretariat, hospitals. We've done work for media, a lot in the media, a lot in the energy sector. You know, and all this involves for those specific. We also do laboratories. We've done for some of our big clients. You know, there are laboratories being done, and generally we do everything. And we manufacture also for showrooms, you know, so you get there, probably won't know we did it, because they're not different from what was imported. The only thing that local content is the hardwood, you know, is the hardwood, and maybe some chemicals, for example, like varnishes. Some of them are produced locally, but generally, even when we buy from the local suppliers, they also had to import it. They imported it. So that's the big issue. That's an area that we think, you know, we have a big challenge with importing. So we don't produce much here for our industry. Well, everything is everywhere is policy driven. You know, but you find sometimes government decides to look at it like a patient. You're going to see a doctor, and it decides that is what it decides what's wrong with you without talking to you, and decides this is the medicine for you without talking to you. So you have government deciding to a large extent, little consultation, what the problem is. And when we tell them the problem, it's like, you know, they can address it. For example, lending rate at 30%, exchange rate at 360 will not lead to any development. It's impossible. It's impossible. So, a factory is brick and mortar. There's land, and there must be money to build everything and to buy the machines. So if you want 1,000 factories, and each factory costs about, let's say, 30 million naira, for instance, you know, there must have been application of those funds into the system to set up the factories. Do you understand? So when that is not, that's an issue. And also the kind of rebates needed. But, you know, the important thing is that government should also see the paradigm, have a right paradigm for development. You know, the general paradigm is that government is helping us. They're not helping us. If I sell off and everything I have, I'll be one of the biggest traders around. So We really don't. We can trade. We can also import. So when people commit themselves to manufacturing, it's not because they don't have any other means of making money, or they can't make money with it, because the capital we invest in manufacturing is much more than what traders invest. A lot of traders. And they get quick returns. We have to wait for years. And government feels they are helping us. No help. That paradigm has to change. They should see us as partners, providing employment, providing products, develop growing in it. So that's a major problem. And sometimes there's a disconnect between the government at the top and the regional government and local governments. So government at the top wants to do something. Let's say ease of doing business, for instance. Now they profess ease of doing business at the top. We don't see that happening here. The council people come in and shut your factory. Even fire brigade comes to shut your factory. So they don't seem to obey or run in line with the views of the government at the top. So there's a need for government at the top to look down and see that everybody in the chain of their policy implementation are on the same page. That's a big problem. So while there's a genuine desire to make business easy by the government, some other regional, sectional government are destroying that plan. And you need to check them to ensure that what you decide to offer as a dividend to the people trickles down in the way you have planned it. I think that's some problem with monitoring. So, for example, you have multiple taxes. Everybody comes to you to collect the same tax at different levels, and the federal government needs to address that. So policies of importation, policies, fiscal policies, need to be addressed. But basically, cost of funds, it must be addressed. There are many dimensions we can look at this. Now, between the players, among the players in the industry, that's one. Then from government to us. Now, if we must develop, if we must achieve the plan of government, both for industrialization and for generating employment, there are some rebates that must be given. I'm not saying that we should just enjoy because we're manufacturers. There are some rebates that are needed to be given to them, to government, to encourage people to invest more. Because other people just make money and take it out, So they must encourage people to invest more. What if you can achieve this target? This is the kind of rebate you will get. If you employ extra people, this is the kind of rebate you will get. Incentives, it has to be incentivized. That is just it. So but when you believe that we are different, we're just making money, and we need help, it's a wrong thing. So they need to look at it. And also, the industry is not strong. It's a need for example, abroad, you have, there are places where it's just a furniture village. Everybody selling furniture goes there. So there are many retailers, and there are other factories too. So they produce and it's sold, in those places. So the delivery of the products is quite fast, because if you don't sell, you can't expand. If you don't expand, you can't employ more people. So it should not just create the avenue for us to produce. There's also the need to create avenues for evacuation. And because we are poorly funded at the interest rates and exchange rates that we have, individuals cannot do that alone. So we need to work out how we can reach out. But this should be a private sector initiative. Exactly, But sometimes adequate support, policies, guidance, will do good. For example, if you want to build in some places in China, they have warehouses already built. You just rent it and produce. Sometimes they even provide the machines if you need. So you rent it, and over time. Sometimes they build the malls, the village, the furniture village, because the private sector cannot do that. We don't have the kind of funds at this level. So they need to come together to ensure that there's growth in the system.
Okay, thank you. Finally, sir, on the industry.
I don't think so. I don't think, because we are not many. And we're a huge population. Problem is that we all gather at one aperture. We all go, and if there's a job in one ministry, all of us, we go there. It looks as if there's competition. But there's so much all around the country. So we need to spread out to different areas and take your position. And you find out that everybody, in fact, we cannot meet up. If we do that, it will be difficult to meet up. So there's a need to have an understanding amongst, but you see, culturally, we are not like that. That's the problem, in our country. We see each other as trying to usurp. Yeah. So I believe we'll do better if we come together. Luckily, we have the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, and we have the wood and wood product sector, and that helps us to come together at that level. We hope that it will get better in the future. Of course, it is not transparent. Of course, many things. You see, many things have to be adjusted. You understand? I don't know if I should talk here.
It's just like an advice, anyway.
Yeah, the government has to look at it critically. Because the procurement, for example, the jobs of the Bureau of Public Procurement, they come in after a certain price. You understand? For example, if they say a project not more than 100 million can be done at the ministries by the directors and those in there. After the 100 million, it goes to the BPP, Now, you can break a job of 1 billion into 10, and it never gets to the BPP. It's what gets to BPP that they will administer. You understand? So that is there. Then also there's a percentage of the allowance. For example, if something is coming from abroad, it's 1,000 naira, and your own is 2,000 naira. Why should government buy at 2,000 when it is cheaper to import? But I always say that if you must teach your daughter how to cook, you must be ready to eat burnt food. You have to eat it with delight until she perfects. So there's a need for them to look at it. The allowance they have given for that, I think, is very little. I think it's about 15%. We have been saying they should increase it, because there's a big gap, no light, no water, no road, no nothing. The cost of production here is really, really high. And we have no choice, we must produce. We cannot run away from being industrialized. And the earlier we face these issues, the better for the nation and for the populace. And one thing about government, which is quite, is that if they take wrong decisions, eventually they leave the country with the punishment of wrong decisions. No matter how much you rule, after 8 years, you will still leave. So if you've taken wrong decisions, then you just sit back and watch everybody suffer. So there's a need for government to take these policies very seriously in the interest of the nation. Well, I don't think the youth have much issues. People respond to stimulus. It's what you provide for them that they will respond to. The average youth is energetic and ready to go. Even now, it's more intense. They are more creative, more adventurous, more determined to succeed than it used to be. But the avenues are not there. The avenues are not there. So that is where government has to come in to ensure that such things, the things we can teach them are not, for example, we have to let them know that for every business there's capital. Capital is not much of an issue. If you are looking for money for a business, I believe you are doing a business bigger than you. There's a business of 5,000 naira. You can buy yams from Zuba and sell in Wuse 2. You will make some level of profit. You don't need 50,000 naira for that. It will only take you a longer time. You have to repeat it more and more than when you have 1 million to buy it once and make. So the youths have to understand that time is crucial in this, and you cannot overtake time. You know, if you are a billionaire's son, fine. But if you don't have anything, you will spend a longer time. You have to believe that. That's what I did. You have to believe that and get it ready, that the next 7 years, I'll be doing X, Y, Z. So you grow your money gradually. Then when there's a track record, it's easy to fund. Moreover, you don't fund a new business with loan. What you have not yet known anything about, you're going to take a loan, you will die. Loan is for expanding successful businesses. You understand? And that's when people say, I want money, I want to bank, it's wrong. So they have to start from zero. So I think the youths are ready for the development. My name is Odem Masialu, and I'm a carpenter. And I left university in 1986 from the University of Ife. And I've done several things. I've been in the finance sector. I used to be like a gem of a finance house. I've done commodities trading. I've done oil services. And I ended up in the furniture industry. I'm married with children. And I'm passionate about the country, passionate about the youth, very passionate about the youth. And I believe that we can live where we are and rise to the next level. And I've been trying my best to contribute. And I hope that I will continue to have the opportunities to contribute.
Well, thank you so much. This is where we'll draw the curtain. So once a very big thank you, sir, for making our time to be with us out of the British. We really appreciate your contribution on the program, sir. Thank you so much, and God bless you, sir.
Thank you, Kingsley. I appreciate it. Thank you.